I'm always drawn to objects that are designed with a sense of passion. Things that I aspire to own or experience for myself. And cars are definitely not exempt to this. As a matter of fact, they've been a huge influence in my personal life. But don't worry, I'm not turning into a car review channel, if that's what you're thinking. I'm not even reviewing this car. Exactly. Maybe just a little bit of it. The interior in particular. And the reason being is that I think nowadays people are more critical with what the vehicle can offer them while they're sitting in traffic, as opposed to its 0 to 60 performance. Since there's a huge shift towards electric vehicles or EV, I think more and more consumers are getting excited about the latest car as much as the latest iPhone. What I mean by that is that interest in cars have increased since everyday tech and vehicles have slowly started to come together as one very attractive package. So what I really want to do is keep tabs on this development or evolution as time goes on. But since I'm just beginning, for today, I want to start with a car that is relatively new and talk about the interior and what it's like to sit inside a car that costs around $90,000 to $100,000. Welcome to the first episode of Auto Enthused. This Lexus LC500 was designed to be a GT car or a Grand Tourer, meaning it's built to be driven over long distances at high speeds, and they should feel sporty without sacrificing comfort or luxury, and should at least offer a decent amount of tech. Personally, I love the exterior design. I think the swooping lines adds a sense of motion, and you should see the details they actually put in this car, especially the headlights. But let's go see what it's like to sit inside. Stepping inside the LC500 feels more like being inserted into a snug cocoon made out of Alcantara, leather, and aluminum. Inside, you'll find the same long curves that are present in the exterior of the car, such as the design of these seats and the beautiful details of the door panel. They carry the same flowing lines here, which gives you a sense of movement. And they've really put together a good combination of high quality materials here. The suppleness of the leather, the coziness of the Alcantara, and the cool feel of aluminum really makes just about everything here look and feel special. And some of these things you don't necessarily even see, just like these control knobs for the electric seats, for example. You don't see them, but they feel high quality and they look absolutely gorgeous. According to Lexus chief designer Tadao Mori, they gave serious consideration to where the driver's eyes would focus and designed the surfacing in that area to help support the driver's mindset. They wanted a layout that is both cockpit focused and elegant. In here, the finishes are definitely pleasant and premium to the touch, such as these tactile buttons for the air conditioner, which are also very easy to decipher. The media screen is decently sized at 10.3 inches, even for a car that's a few years old. I particularly like the analog clock as it adds a classic and luxurious feel to the interior. Now, as I've said earlier, they definitely wanted just about every touch point to feel high quality, and this includes the release button for the glove compartment. Admittedly, the steering wheel is probably my least favorite part since it just looks and feels a bit too ordinary, especially if you compare it to the rest of the interior. I'm not a fan of excessive buttons on the steering wheel, and I'm even less of a fan of these extra stalks on either side of the gauges. In concept, they look interesting, but in truth, they're a bit hard to see and take some time to get used to. But at the very least, the quality is on par with the rest of the interior. The gear lever looks plain and a bit out of date for my taste, but it's just the right height and it feels good. I also like the way you have to manipulate the lever to put it into gear. It feels a bit old school. So let's talk a little bit about the tech in this car. But first, we have to start it up. Personally, I thought that was pretty cool. The main control for your media center is basically this touchpad in the center console. You also get a couple of tactile shortcut buttons, but they're kind of all over the place, which means you have to remember where they are. Now, touchpads in cars aren't really new. However, the one in the Lexus is really interesting because they have a very strong haptic feedback. Now, in theory, that should help you navigate more easily, but in practice, it's actually a little bit distracting, and that's not really what you want. Lexus is also a bit notorious in the car world for having a difficult infotainment system. Now, I spent a decent amount of time trying to figure this thing out, so I'll just say this. This car can definitely benefit from a better backup camera and an addition of a 360-degree camera for parking, but most disappointingly, this car does not support Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. But you do get a heads-up display, if that matters. You also get two small cup holders that can fit my iPhone 12 mini and a decently sized storage area in the middle console. However, you don't get any wireless charging pads. But despite those flaws, overall this car feels special, especially at a starting price of $92,000. But the main point I'd like to make in this video is how special it actually makes you feel when you're sitting inside. You sit low and snug in these surprisingly comfortable bucket seats, and most of your touch points feel soft and premium. The luxurious interior combined with decent tech and beautiful design does remind you that what you are driving is more like a dessert after a lovely meal. As you look around, you get the sense that this car was designed with a bit more passion than functionality. And personally, to me, that's a very, very good thing. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I would like to say thank you to my friend Wendy for trusting me with this gorgeous car. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you would like to see in future episodes. Until next time, take care.